Looks like we are good to go. Head getting cut off a little bit. There we go. Oh.
Yep.
All right, let's freaking get this started. Greetings, everyone. Had to hit him with the boogie intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is a weekly gaming news show, and we are your hosts. My name is Trenell, and I'm here as always with the homeboy Todd. What's going on, Todd?
Not much, man. I've had a wallet breaking week, but
oh yes,
some good, some not so good. But hey,
I've actually been having quite a relaxing weekend. I feel really good. I'm very refreshed right now, and I'm ready to talk about the stories that came through during this week. If you're new to the podcast, we are a pair of very seasoned gamers, and when I say seasoned, I mean we've been playing games since been playing games. My first console was the NES, and what was your first console?
The 2600.
The Atari 2600.
Yeah, I'm that old, people.
We are some very seasoned gamers with some very strong opinions. And what we do and what we like to do is we just take the news stories from the week, we discuss them, and then we bring the question to you guys. What do you guys think about what's going on? There's a lot of stuff that's been going on this week. So without further delay, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. We hope you enjoy it. So, first things first, the weekly icebreaker. If you are new to the podcast, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, the weekly icebreaker is just a question that we ask of each other in order to get a sense of where we are on certain gaming topics. And this week's topic is a recurring topic. We're going to bring one back from the vault, and it's the, what are you playing?
What are you playing right now?
What are you playing?
So, what are you playing, Sonic?
Oh, I'm playing Sonic. That's literally all I've been playing right now. Shameless plug. I've been doing a like almost half a year promotion for free for Sega. I wish they would pay me because I've been promoting the countdown to Sonic Mania over on my YouTube channel, the YTOS. I've been playing through the entirety of the main Sonic franchise and some spin-off games. And on Friday, I wrapped up that series, which was really fun. I left it up to my Twitter followers to choose which story I played in one of worst Sonic games ever created, Sonic 06. I allowed them to pick between Shadow and Silver on Sonic 06. It was pretty fun, and it was a very cool way to end a series that I have been doing since like last year, in like October is when I started doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, so before we even had a release date for Sonic Mania, I've been counting the days.
Counting the days. And we actually have a story about that we're going to talk about later, so it's a good thing that we brought that up. But on the other side, what have you been playing, Boogie? I've been playing a little bit of a lot. My recurring game right now is Overwatch. Is what I get into when I have a couple of minutes, maybe play a match or two. I got a Switch. Talked about that yesterday, so I'm jumped into a little Splatoon 2.
Okay, yeah.
I went back to Watch Dogs. I've been messing around with that. I've just been bouncing around. Assassin's Creed Unity. I've been messing around with that as well. So
Unity or Syndicate.
No. Syndicate is the bad one. Unity.
Unity is the bad one.
Wait a minute.
Syndicate is the one with the twins.
Yeah, Syndicate. I'm sorry,
that's the
Unity.
one. I'm like, why the hell did you play Unity?
I'm going to go back and play Unity too. I have it. I might as well play it.
Yeah. I don't have it anymore. I had that on the Xbox One. So that thing is gone. I believe I took it back to GameStop. I think I got a refund.
All my games, the only game I have that's not digital is Connect Sports Rival.
Damn.
Everything else is digital, so I had my games forever.
Age. I see you. Yeah, no, I couldn't keep that one. I was like, yeah, good thing I got the physical copy because this thing is garbage. But you know what? I've actually been dabbling in Mafia 3. I've actually started. I picked it back up and did a couple of missions here and there. I'm not sure why I stopped. It's not as bad as I remember it being. I mean, there's certain things that I don't like about it, but. Mm-hmm.
Well, you were playing it at release. Since release, they've made a lot of updates, quality of life updates. So that can be it.
It's possible because I remember it, like everything just like being extra tedious for some reason, and to a certain extent, it is like the mission structure. Like when you take on like a mission, that in itself is like can be done a whole variety of different ways. And then sometimes you'll visit the place, you'll visit a location, and then like when you wrap up the mission and like kill the big boss, you'll revisit that same location in some instances. And that was like a problem that I was having, and that's still present. But everything else just seems like, smooth sailing. I'm not really sure why I was so upset with it. It's actually really fun.
That's another one that's on my catch-up list. One of these days, I will do catch-ups. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll start streaming them. I don't know.
That'd be cool, man.
But as of right now, I'm like infinitely behind in games.
Oh man, man, I have Wii games that I've purchased and never played.
Yeah, and it's not going to not getting any better for me because I got Destiny 2's coming out in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be starting to eat up a lot of chunk of time, and I barely have time to game anyway. So
it's rough, man. It's rough out here, but that's what happens. Yep. But let us know what you guys think. And also let us know what you guys have been playing lately. There's a lot of games that are out. There's a lot that are coming out very, very soon. Let us know what you've been playing, and if you want to ask us a question for the icebreaker, you can do so by leaving a comment in the comment section or using the hashtag Weekly Icebreaker on Twitter. And we would love to answer some of your questions, because sometimes it's hard for us to think of something. We're like, like what's the icebreaker? We don't have one. We're not prepared.
Right.
Yeah, so ask us questions. We'd love to answer.
13th hour, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we go live in 30 seconds.
The icebreaker. Yeah, so let us know. But with that said, we can go ahead and move on to the next segment, which is our quick hits. And these are stories that we just want to talk about that don't necessarily deserve the deep dive that the top 5 news stories for the week usually get. So with our first story, I'll let you go ahead and take it, Boogie. What do we got?
PlayStation firmware 5.0 has been leaked. Sony opened the beta for it. I signed up. I don't even know if I have it. I probably should check my PlayStation. But I signed up for the beta, but they hadn't.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They haven't gotten any release notes, but apparently the firmware update was leaked. Doesn't seem to be much. A lot of quality of life fixes. One of the biggest features is now 1080p streaming at 60 frames per second from the PlayStation 4 Pro, only the 4 Pro.
Only the Pro.
To Twitch. So if you're streaming to Twitch, you're using that share button to get your stream started. You can now stream, if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, full HD. I personally think, when I said this before the show, that's a slap in the face to the original PlayStation owners. And it could be just very well there's no power. I don't see why there wouldn't be. But yeah, there's only streaming 1080p for PlayStation 4 Pro owners. They're also adding the follow option. You've had this on Xbox for a while, where you can follow a player or follow a user without them friending you.
Right.
You can see what they're doing. This is more a feature for people that stream. If you have a favorite streamer on PlayStation now, you can just follow them and get notifications when they stream, which is cool. And they have blocks for it. You can block people from following you. You can have it to where only friends can follow you or such like that. And they did also an update for the sub accounts. More robust parental controls if you have sub accounts with child sub accounts. So, and again, this is just a leak. We don't know if it's everything or not. Right. But that's what they have. As it stands now, the biggest feature is the 1080p streaming from your PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, and that's actually really cool. And I have to think that this is kind of like a response to the prominence in the Mixer platform on Xbox. Yeah. I mean, because before, if you wanted to stream on your console, the best place to do it was on the Xbox One. Like, they had like the most features and whatnot, and to a certain extent they still do. They have a lot more features and a lot of features that the PlayStation 4 owners don't have as far as Twitch is concerned. But with them bringing the 1080 60 frame per second streaming only to PlayStation 4 Pro, I feel like they're limiting the amount of people that could potentially use that service.
Exactly. I mean, and we all know serious streamers, they have external gear that they're using. They're using capture cards and such. So I mean, I don't know if it's that huge of a deal. I mean, even on Xbox, streamers that are streaming on Xbox, they're using external equipment to get the best stream up. But I mean, for those that might be up and coming or just want to get started, it can be a bit of a hamstring for them, I guess. But it is what it is, I guess. My guess is maybe the PlayStation 4 can't send a 4K, a full HD stream and play games simultaneously. It just it's just too much.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I've ever tested it, but I think you can do that on the OG Xbox One. Get 1080, probably not 60 frames per second though. I'm not sure.
Right.
I have to look into it.
Yeah, I that's something I probably should have, but I didn't think about it. But I don't think, to be quite honest, I don't think it matters really. No. I don't think it's a huge deal. Just because, like I said before, if you're a serious streamer, you're using
you have capture cards, you have external gear, and you're getting the best quality feed to your audience.
Right.
Because I remember for a while, Mount Lover, he just had like a resurgence of the will to want to stream, and the reason, because he was testing things out, and the reason that he wasn't doing it before, and why he still doesn't do it on consoles, is because the quality is just bad.
Right.
He has a PS4 Slim, and I saw like a test stream that he did for Street Fighter. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he's like, nah. Even if somebody would tune in, like I wouldn't want him to see this garbage.
Right. Exactly.
It's mad pixelated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you have a PS4 Pro, and you're looking to get into streaming, this is this is for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like by not allowing it to all PlayStation 4 owners, they're both limiting the amount of people that can use it. Plus, anybody that's super serious about it, this is a nothing story for anybody that is already streaming or whatever.
And like I said, if you want to start for cheap, just using the console, Xbox One or PlayStation is a good place to start. It just seems now if you want a high quality stream to start off, you might make sure you have the PS4 Pro, and it'll still be cheaper than buying all the external stuff if you don't have anything.
True.
Right. So
the option is there.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. Ooh, this is a good one.
Yeah, we'll let you have this one.
All right, so we have a release date for the new expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, if you're unfamiliar, this is a game that came out and I loved to death.
Oh yeah,
this game is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I played through it a lot.
Yeah, we played through the entirety of the game. I was a little slow on it, just trying to tackle the backlog. But we will be getting the Frozen Wilds. The Frozen Wilds expansion pack will arrive on November the 7th, just in time for my birthday. So, Vanessa, if you're watching the stream, check on the birthday list. We're getting this one. It looks amazing. They just released a new trailer for their release date announcement, and it looks amazing, man.
Oh yeah.
It's no question. I will be playing this.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I loved Horizon. I think it's a beautiful game. It's so fun. I had a blast with it. I can't wait. In fact, I've already pre-ordered.
You already pre-ordered the expansion?
Yeah. Go right to the PlayStation store. Yeah, it's there. Okay. And definitely. If you played Horizon Zero Dawn, you know how great that game was.
Yeah.
It is definitely a must for fans.
Man, dude, if you have a PlayStation 4, you haven't played this game, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those system sellers. And it's one of the reasons I bought my PlayStation. This and Spider-Man.
Yeah, when I saw the gameplay trailers. Well, not gameplay trailers, but like just the CG trailers. I was like, yeah, this looks like a world that I would want to run around in. And when I beat the game, the original campaign, this is like probably the first time that I felt like, where's the season pass? Like, where's the DLC? Like, I was craving more of this game, and because they aren't going the normal route as far as additional content, like I felt like I was wanting more. I felt empty on the inside. I was like, I need more game, and I'm surprised that there's no season pass for this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they really had anything planned for it, to be quite honest.
I mean, it's a brand new IP, and
right.
it sold like out of the park. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It sold like hotcakes. Yes, it did.
Right, and I'm sure that it exceeded a lot of people's expectations, and a lot of people were trying to compare this to the new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild or whatnot. But it's like it was in its own league. It did its thing, and now fans of this game are going to get an expansion, and I believe it's free.
No,
or does it cost? Oh no, you said you pre-ordered. So how much is it?
It's $20.
Okay.
If you're a PS Plus subscriber, it's $15. You get 20% off. So that's a good deal. I like that, and it was a great game. I put a lot of time into it, and I have no problem putting more time into that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next quick hit. What we got? This is another one we talked about too. This is like an update almost.
Oh yeah, the AM2R, right? Another Metroid 2 remake.
Okay, so a little while ago, I'll take this one. A little while ago, we talked about a Samus or Metroid fan game called Metroid AM2R or Samus AM2R. I can't remember the actual title, but it was a game that took the original Game Boy game, Metroid 2: The Return of Samus, and turned it into a kind of like a modern game using a lot of the assets and items from the Game Boy Advance games. And it looked and it played nice. It was very beautiful, and it was really fun. It was a tried and true recreation from the ground up using a custom, I don't know, like engine, I guess you can call it. Yeah, like a custom engine that he created. He built it from scratch, and it was very fun, and I was glad to play it. But soon after, or very soon, towards the release of the game, it was, said that they had to cease and desist. They weren't going to be allowed to continue, working on the game. So in its current form, like that's where it stands. And then it turned out that Nintendo was actually creating their own Metroid 2 game.
Right, that they announced at E3.
That they announced at E3. And so it left a lot of people thinking like, okay, well, this was probably the reason for the cease and desist or whatever. But news came out very recently that the developer behind the AM2R fan game, he got himself a job. And so now he will be working on the new Ori and the Will of the Wisp game coming out very soon. And so this is a like a story that had like a sad moment that leads into like a very happy ending, because this guy is going to work on a game that I cannot wait to purchase. I played the original Ori and the Blind Forest, and it is amazing. And it's very similar to the Metroidvania, style of game. It's a Metroidvania style of game.
Right. Basically like a 2D open world platformer.
Right. With like power-ups and maps and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So this is like right in this guy's realm. So he's definitely I think he's on to like create some of like the maps and like locations and build the maps or whatever.
Yeah, he's going to be level designer.
Level designer. There you go.
Yep. So I think that's cool. I'm glad. I mean, he put a lot of work. I think he worked 5 or 6 years. He worked on AM2R, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when they shut it down, I kind of felt bad for him. But my normal stance is it's not your IP. I mean, that's the risk you take. But it's cool to find that he got on. He seemed to be a pretty very talented developer. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, really looking forward to Ori now that I know that somebody with the skill that he has is behind the level design. That's going to be very, very awesome to see here.
Right, and the experience, right? Because I mean, if you're making that type of game, you know what it should be. So yeah, it's great.
That's great. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. What we got?
Overwatch. We got some Overwatch news. So right now, Overwatch is in the middle of its summer games. We've got Lucio Ball, you got new skins, so on and so forth. But the PTR currently is testing free for all mode and team deathmatch in Overwatch. Now it's not going to be in any. It's not going to be in a competitive or quick play playlist. It'll be in the arcade playlist, which is cool. So I mean, you don't have to play it, but a lot of people play arcade for the loot boxes. You can get up to 3, 4, 5 a week, I think it is. Which is cool. But Team Deathmatch, everybody loves Team Deathmatch except for me. I'm not a huge Team Deathmatch fan. That's for the birds, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, and for it to be in something like Overwatch, I mean, not only Team Deathmatch, but they're bringing Free For All as well. Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, yeah.
Right. I think it's going to be a cluster. I can see now, like, Hanzo's and Widowmakers just hiding around the map, sniping, shooting you in your feet for the one-hit kills.
You and the foot kills, man.
But the way it's going to work is the free-for-all is up to 8 players. The winner is the first person to 20. Team deathmatch is 6 versus 6. The winner is the first team to 20, and you lose points if you commit suicide. If you jump off the map on your own, you blow yourself up. For all you inexperienced farmers out there, I've seen that way too often. You don't realize that missiles against the wall hurt you. But yeah, if you kill yourself anyway, you actually lose points. And in the free-for-all mode in arcade, if you finish in the top 4, that counts as a victory towards your weekly loot boxes. You need 9 every 3 victories get you a loot box. You get up to 3, and then each of the game modes. Sometimes you get a bonus loot box for winning that specific game mode. So I think it's cool. I'm hoping it'll get rid of a lot of the maniacs that play quick play and even competitive, where all they want to do is get Genji and run around the map and rack up kills and don't don't try assist on the objective at all.
All right, this will be their place to play.
Right, exactly. But
I mean, for them to announce this the way they did, I mean, they just released a video. It was like, hey, developer update. We're adding deathmatch. It's kind of just like came out of nowhere. So maybe that's what they're trying to do.
I think what they see, because now they have the custom playlist you can do on the arcade. I think they see a lot of people setting up matches to play, essentially play deathmatch as opposed to playing any of the objectives. So it's something they realize the community wants. And any community for any first-person shooter wants deathmatch, whether it be free-for-all, team deathmatch, or a combination of the two.
Right.
So yeah, that's coming.
That's coming again, and like you said, some people already got their hands on it. I saw some gameplay footage of it already, and it seems pretty fun. Very fast paced.
Yep. Public test realm. If you're on PC, you can sign up for it. There's no public test on consoles. As of yet. And as with any public test realm event or update, it usually comes to the production probably anywhere about 2 to 3 weeks, I guess.
Okay.
That's about how long it took Doomfist and Arista to come, about 2 to 3 weeks. So look for it coming soon.
Cool. So we got one more quick hit for you guys, and Boogie, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, so last week we talked about NBA Live 2018 and that they were adding the WNBA teams to the WNBA league and all full roster to the game. They've come back this week and they have announced the release date, which is September 15th. They announced the cover athlete, who is none other than the Beard, James Harden. If you don't know who James Harden is, just Google the Beard. You'll see who he is and you'll know why he's called the Beard. But the most interesting thing to me is that if you pre-order it, you get it for $20 off. So instead of the game being $59.99, you get it for $39.99. I personally pre-ordered it, not because it's just going to be cheap, but the demo came out this week. I think the 11th, Friday. And I played the demo. I actually played a lot. It's you play a 5-on-5 summer league game or a Drew League game, and they give you a team with, I mean, it's like an all-star game. You get Steph Curry, James Harden, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Paul George is the players you use. And the other team has like LeBron James, DeMarcus Cousins, Russell Westbrook, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I forget who the 5th player is. Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
So it's like an all-star game, and it's really good. I was surprised. It looks good. It plays good. What I like most is in NBA 2K, 18 or NBA 2K 17, which is what I have. If you want to do like special moves, like dribble between the legs, behind the back, or a spin move, use the right analog stick. But you're playing Street Fighter. You're doing half circles, full circles, up, down. You gotta do quick up, down, circle. I mean, all kinds of crazy. I mean, you're doing Street Fighter moves. But on NBA Live 18, it's the same type of thing. You use the right analog stick, but it's much simpler, which I like. Which I
remember when juking was like the X button on the controller.
It's none of that. You do.
That's like the last time I played a basketball sim. Is when like the spin move was like forward on the left control stick and then X. And if you were like stationary, you would like cross or whatever. It was just the X button.
Yeah, no, they've definitely.
It's been a while, man.
They've definitely upgraded, and like I said, I mean, it's nice that it's in there, but it gets super complicated. If you don't do it just right, you do the wrong move, or you do the wrong move to the wrong side, and you just mess yourself up. So, I mean, I know the people that play it in and out day to day are experts at it. I just think that the NBA Live system is more approachable.
Okay. Well, that's cool. You did say that you were going to try the demo, so man, they got a pre-order out of you, huh?
Yeah, they got a pre-order. Yep. Yeah, but partly because of the WNBA and partly because I get $20 off. And we talked about this pre-show. This is what NBA 2K, what the 2K Sports Series did to really get their foot in the door. Where when Madden and NBA Live games were $50, they were $49.99. They weren't always $59, but when games were $49.99, the 2K Series, NBA 2K and NFL 2K always sold, and even baseball
at a $10 price drop.
$20.
Was it $20?
It was always $29.99. They were $30.
Okay.
They were always $29.99. It's like for a good 2, 3, 4 years until they really started picking up. I think they actually stopped after they lost the football license. After EA signed the exclusive football license,
right?
They stopped doing it, and they just really focused on basketball. And they ran away with it. Everybody knows if you play video game basketball, you're playing 2K. But NBA Live is a competitor, much better than what 16 was, and good for them.
Yeah, good for them, man. It really seems like they're just trying to get the game out there, get people's hands on it, and like show that they can bring a quality product, which is good. I mean, this is something that we wanted in football for a long time, but EA is just not giving that shit up.
Yeah, we still want in football.
Well, yeah, that's what we still want that in football, but it's good to see them back, and maybe this will cause the team over at 2K to innovate yet again.
Right. And don't get me wrong, it's not as if the 2K games are bad. I mean,
not at all.
It's a great game. It's just nice to have somebody else competing with their own fresh ideas because you get better products that way.
Yeah, and that's all I mean, really.
Yeah. When it's a monopoly like with Madden, you essentially getting roster updates and some fancy marketing catchwords.
Pretty much.
But when you have competition, I mean, even look at Xbox and PlayStation, look at what we're getting. We may not necessarily agree fully where they're going with it, but what they're pushing out as far as hardware is great.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was our quick hits. If you have a story that you would want us to talk about, it will most likely make it into the quick hit section. So, submit stories to us via our social media. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. You can also leave suggestions in the comments on either on YouTube or wherever you are consuming this media. Let us know what you think either on the last story or any of the quick hits that we've talked about today. And definitely submit us stories. We love to engage with you guys, and we would love to go back and forth. And you can debate us on some of these topics. But we're going to go ahead and jump into our next segment, which is the top 5 news stories for the week. But before we do that, we are going to give a special shout out to our sponsor. Our sponsor for this week and all weeks since we've been sponsored. I don't know why I said for this week. But the guys, the homies over at New Challenger TV and the New Challenger Discord. Head on over to newchallenger.gg. Select your favorite game, either Street Fighter V or Injustice 2, and get all of the knowledge that can turn you into a competitive player. The Discord channel, server I should say, is filled with, a robust community that's always live, always active, and you can get special one-on-one coaching sessions to make you the competitor that you've always wanted to be. So head on over to newchallenger.gg for more information. They also just picked up their I believe it's season 2 or 3 of their bi-weekly tournament series, which actually goes down right before our podcast starts. So I'm not sure who won, but if you go to newchallenger.gg, you can get all the information there, and make sure that you hit them up on Twitch, because they do have weekly shows that they conduct, in addition to the tournaments that they do as well. So that's New Challenger TV over on Twitch and on Twitter. And the main website is newchallenger.gg. Shouts out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder and owner of the Discord channel, and big ups to our homie Mount Lover, who is a coach for Street Fighter 5, as well as a commentator for most of their tournaments for the North American scene. So big ups to those guys. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. We appreciate you. Now, it's time for us to get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, and that's going to be the top 5 news stories. And we got some good ones. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and start us off? What do we have first?
First thing we have is some Xbox news. There's a couple of stories. We're going to start first with Spotify. Spotify is coming to Xbox One. It's actually, I think it's on there now. It's already on. I think It's on there. I haven't checked. I'm not a Spotify subscriber, so I haven't checked for sure. But Spotify is coming to Xbox One. All you PlayStation 4 owners out there are like, oh yeah, Spotify's been on PlayStation for years. But what many people may not have realized is Spotify was an exclusive app to the PlayStation. They had signed this exclusive deal with Sony to have Spotify on PlayStation only. I don't think Xbox or Microsoft really cared, because they were pushing what was then Xbox Live Music, what is now Groove.
Groove, yeah.
And I've actually been using Groove Music, but I've been using it since it was Zune.
Zune, yeah.
It was originally Zune Music, and then it changed it to something else, and it was Xbox Music, and now it's Groove. But I've been using it since way back when. I mean, it has just as much music as Spotify does. But I digress. If you're a Spotify user and you play games, you are in luck. It does work as a background player, so you can be playing your game and you can have Spotify playlist in the background going,
and it'll play like right through your freaking controller into your headphones. That's so crazy. I mean, I do that like on my own, like using like some roundabout like BS, but that's actually really cool. I was like, wow, that's tight.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. And Spotify is probably one of the most, if not the most popular streaming service outside of there's Apple Music, which is locked down to Apple.
Yeah.
Groove Music, which I think me and like only 5 other people subscribe to.
You got Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime, Amazon Music Unlimited. Then you got YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. Google Play Music.
Yeah, then you got Tidal. Tidal's ass.
Yeah, Tidal.
Oh my god, dude! Like, okay, so I had Spotify. The Spotify's dope. I love the navigation. I love everything about Spotify. I gave it up because with Sprint they give you a 6-month trial for Spotify to Tidal. So I was like, oh shit, for 6 months I can get Tidal for free. I fucking hate it.
There's barely any music on it, right?
I don't know, man. I don't listen to too much. I mean, I just kind of like listening to like my 90s and early 2000s hip hop, so most of that is still there. But it's like, man, like the navigation is so bad. It's so bad. Like Spotify is just way better, and Spotify also has a large library of video game music too that Tidal doesn't have. So I get like all of my like classic Sega like soundtracks, like my
that's cool.
My Jet Set Radio Future freaking soundtrack is on there. That's freaking dope. But yeah, so if you have Spotify, like,
you're in good hands right now.
You are in very, very good hands.
Get that, download that, go to your Xbox, power up, download it, and next time you play Overwatch or you play Halo or whatever you're playing, listen to your Spotify playlist. And what's cool about Spotify, which I think is a super cool feature, is the ability to share the playlist. How easy it is to share playlists. That's probably one of the top features.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I don't know. I'm with Groove. I don't have any incentive to change so I'm not going to. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I might have to get Spotify back, man. I can't deal with Tidal, even though it's free. I can't deal. I can't. It's bad. I don't like. Let's get into the next Xbox store. What we got?
All right. So if you're an Alpha Ring insider, Xbox insider Alpha Ring, you got the new fall update, and I do have it, and I think it's glorious. It's much faster. I love what they did with the guide. So now you pop up with the guide. And you can actually navigate through the guide using the left and right bumpers. The information is more concise and it makes more sense where it's at. On the home screen itself is much more. What do you want to? Much more configurable. Mm-hmm. You can actually pin friends, and you can easily see what they're doing. You can pin games. You can pin apps. It's really nice. Another thing that they made a huge change to is the community tab. The community tab shows you like people's screenshots, streamers and stuff, but it's more relevant now to what you're playing and who your friends are. So like before, it would recommend streams, but people would be streaming like Dota or some crazy.
It'll recommend like the top streams.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes it was recommended top streams. Sometimes it was recommended newcomers. Sometimes I didn't understand why it was recommending stuff to me at all. Right. But this one recommends. It seems like the recommendations come off of games that I've played. Like a lot, I've looked through the list, and a lot of the stuff they showed me, like recommended to me, were either games I've played or very similar games. Like I've seen some first-person shooters because I play Overwatch. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of Mafia. I've seen Watch Dogs. I've seen Division. I mean, I've seen a couple of games that I've played before. Previously I was seeing stuff that's like, I don't have that game. I have no interest in seeing anything about that game. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff they added to it. Again, it seems like every time they pump out these updates, it's faster. But the speed only lasts for so long. So I want to see how long the speed update lasts. We'll see. I mean, last year I said the same thing when I got the fall update. It was so fast, but about 3 to 6 months down the road, it's like, yeah, this just sucks. It's slow and it's a pain in the ass. But I like what they did. It seems to me that it's more intuitive. That's going to be my word of the day, right? It's more intuitive. It's easier to get to what you want to get to, and it's easier to set up what you want to set up. So I like that.
That's what's up. Yeah, I haven't turned on my Xbox yet, so I'm not sure if I got it. I know I'm in the Alpha Ring, but I barely participate in any of the new releases, so they probably kicked me out by now. I think it's like my second time being in the Alpha Ring, being kicked out.
They don't necessarily kick you. They just downgrade you, right?
They just downgrade me
to the next ring. Yeah.
Oh well. So, we got one more Xbox. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's something worth looking forward to. I like it. I mean, there's going to be some changes to what you're used to. If you haven't turned your Xbox on in a long time, you're going to be. It might be a bit of a shock.
You might be a little lost.
But it's a good update. I like it.
That's what's up. Let's get into the last Xbox store. What we got?
The last Xbox store is actually it comes from Bandai Namco, and it's regarding Project Cars 2. And what happened is there was an interview with what is it?
Oh.
It was an interview with the game director.
Okay.
His name is Steven, and I'm gonna butcher his name. It's Viljoen. Viljoen. If you know how to pronounce it, let me know. I'm pretty sure. But he
ain't gonna get me breaking my jaw trying to pronounce that shit.
He did an interview, and basically what he said is the best console version. Now, this is the console version. Everybody, please understand. I know, we all know that the PC version is obviously going to be the best of the best. But what he said was on the console version, the Xbox One X will have the better version, and he didn't say slightly better. He said significantly better, and I think that's a significant statement.
Yeah.
But
I like that. I like how you did that.
He said significantly better, and I mean, obviously Xbox has been touting Xbox One X the most powerful console ever made. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But this may be the start of something. I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to continue with most or all of the games coming out, but I don't see why it wouldn't. And I can understand why a race car game would perform better on better hardware. There's a lot of reasons why.
There's a lot of stuff that thing is rendering like at a very fast pace.
Right. And when you have the better hardware, can render it faster. When you look at especially like draw distance,
yeah,
that type of stuff. So, I think that's a bit significant. That it's newsworthy that he mentioned it. Our developers mentioned it because before, no developer has come out and said it. Other people have come out and said, "Oh, both versions are going to be better than what you get on the original systems," but nobody's really come out and compared the PlayStation 4 Pro to the Xbox One X, which are apples to apples, versus the 4K systems versus the standard systems, which are apples to oranges.
Right.
So it's interesting to see if this is the first of many, or if we're going to be hearing more of this type of braggadocio from other developers.
Time will tell, but we seen the specs, and we can see just by comparing the specs between Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro that the Xbox One X is going to it's going to be a freaking powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to need titles that can take advantage of this power, and it looks like the developers of Project Cars are looking to do just that. Right. And they're looking to take full advantage, and in Project Cars and like these car games, like these things look magnificent. It's like sometimes I watch the trailers, or and I don't have a 4K TV or anything, but it's like sometimes you can't tell the difference between what is CG and like what is like real life.
What is it? Yeah.
It can get a little scary. Right. So
Forza has been doing it on 1080p HD, Xbox One,
right,
and even the 360. It looked amazing. So I can imagine what these guys, racing games seem to be able to push the envelope graphically most times, and it just doesn't seem like it is anything different.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Are you planning on getting Project Cars 2 when it comes out?
No.
No, you're not a fan.
I'll wind up with Forza, and there's really only room for one of those racing sims. Having a bunch of them. I have the first one, and that's because it was a free game, and it's fun. It's cool, but I just there's no reason to have a bunch of them. I'm not that huge of a racing sim guy to have all of them. Okay. Just give me one good one, and I'm happy with that.
Got it. Yeah, so that was Xbox, the news coming out of Xbox and Microsoft. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. And the blue blur is back in the news for some good, some bad. But let's go ahead and jump into it. First of all, they announced that they are bringing back the competitive mode from Sonic 2 in all of its split screen glory.
Just like the olden days.
If you've played Sonic 2, this will be nothing but a flashback into the past right here. It looks amazing. I'm super excited for this game if you haven't already noticed. Currently giving away 3 copies for my countdown to Sonic Mania. Like I am hyped. So this is nothing that was new. But what else had came out, and this isn't necessarily good news, is that the street date was broken, and I'm not sure by who. I believe it was who broke it. I think it was Walmart. Was it Walmart?
It might have been. I don't know. I know the story says that people saw them stocked at GameStops and Best Buys, but they wouldn't sell it to them.
Right. Yeah. No. But the street date was broken. I believe it was by a Walmart. I can't remember exactly who did it, but and it was the physical release, and normally, and like if this was for the Xbox or the PlayStation, this would not matter, because when you try to boot up the game before release, you will get a notice saying this game isn't released yet.
Right, you have to wait. There's a date lock on it.
Yeah, a date lock. Yeah, because the discs are just glorified executables, executable files, so you can't play the full version before the release date on the Xbox, PC or PlayStation 4, but on the Nintendo Switch you can, and the entire game is now on YouTube. I've been trying to avoid spoilers as best as I can, but you can see the game in its entirety right now if you wanted to, and it's a little sad that this happened, And Nintendo is definitely gonna have to do something about this because it is the only version that does the only version of the game that does not have a release date.
You know why that is. It's because the game isn't being installed and played on the system. It's being played off the cartridge, right? So that they really can't lock it. I guess they can nowadays. They can.
Right? Yeah, they could.
They could, but I don't think it's something they thought about. I do remember once upon a time I worked at Best Buy when street dates were broken. It used to happen a lot with music, especially back in the 90s.
Oh God, yeah.
CDs would be sold.
Sorry.
But anytime a street date was broken, you would get the okay to go ahead and start selling it because somebody already else is selling it, so they don't have a competitive advantage.
Right.
I don't know if that's happening now.
No, it isn't. The game is scheduled to come out on Tuesday, the 15th. On Tuesday, the game will be released, and right after the street date was broken, they released the cutscene for the opening cinematic.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
To try and take away from the fact that somebody has the entirety of the game. So they released that, and then they also released the competitive mode. This was kind of like in response to the street date being broken. But I mean, the games comes out on Tuesday. I'm in no rush to spoil myself. But there's been spoilers. It's everywhere, man.
Less than 48 hours. I mean, it sucks. I do know this isn't the first time. If it was Walmart has a bad track record with street dates, in everything from movies to games to music. So it is what it is. Those guys that's out there, great for you. I think it kind of sucks that they started posting stuff, spoiling it for people that have to wait. Because like you said, if somebody went and bought it on PlayStation 4, Xbox, and they loaded it up to try to play it, they still can't. The system will let you. So it kind of sucks that people put it out there. But I mean, that's the current time in the internet.
And another thing that came out is that the PS4 version is available for preload. So you can go, if you pre-ordered it, you can go ahead and load it up so that it's ready for the midnight release at on the 15th.
Right.
You just go ahead and play it right away. I'm actually gonna have to wait on mine because I ordered the collector's edition for the Xbox One, but I'm thinking I'm gonna get a digital copy as well.
Oh wow! Oh yeah. Well, you can just keep
the way I can just keep the collection edition in its knit condition box, never been opened. I'm gonna open the fuck out of that junk. I can't wait. But let us know what you guys think about that. Are you upset that the street date was broken? Does it not matter to you? Me, I'm kind of impartial. I don't think it's gonna take away from anything that game is gonna do.
Right.
It's a good game. It's a solid game made by not just people, not just Sonic fan. Like not just Sonic game makers, but fans of the franchise.
Right.
So this is going to be a quality product, whether or not it's leaked. It's just unfortunate that people that don't want to be spoiled have the possibility of being spoiled. Like I was spoiled. Like one of the levels was announced in the comment section for my videos. Somebody said "Oh, this level's in Mania, no spoiler." I'm like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" It was whack, but it's whatever. What can you do? What can you do?
They're rude.
People are rude. And speaking of rude, let's go ahead and get into the next story because we're talking about a game that has had nothing good come out of it since its release.
Right. People have been disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed. Yes. So why don't you go ahead and get into this one?
So for those of you who are PlayStation fanboys, you know about No Man's Sky. Nobody else knows about it because it's No Man's Sky. But No Man's Sky had a huge following pre-release. Everybody's like, this is going to be the game, the next game. And when it came out, came out to huge disappointments because essentially wasn't the game that was promised. There was no multiplayer, and it was pretty much nothing to it. I mean, there's no story. You're just exploring randomly and building your world.
And the way they went about explaining stuff wasn't good either. It was they didn't not say that there wasn't multiplayer, but they just wouldn't confirm or deny. It was weird.
Right. Well, they do have a huge update coming out right now, coming out soon, and it's going to include first a 30-hour single-player campaign that's procedurally generated, and there's also going to be kind of multiplayer.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, when you play No Man's Sky, you're the only one in the sky. There's nobody around you. I mean, I guess 1 in like a billion chance that you might run into somebody else.
Right.
Moving forward, they're going to add some multiplayer elements. It's going to be, first off, it's going to be basically little orbs. If you meet up at the right place at the right time, you run into these orbs. These orbs will be actually other players that you can actually chat with. You can't interact with them in game, but you will be able to chat with them.
But they have to be in close proximity, though.
Yeah, close proximity. And apparently they're adding some kind of a teleporter or some kind of way to kind of meet up or try to get close to
somebody.
Get close to other people. I guess it's through the portals feature or something. But yeah, so you will be able to kind of navigate your way to where other people are, but you really won't be able to do anything with them but talk. And I guess talking to be cool because maybe you can get direct, get some tips on where to go. Like, oh, I found this somewhere else, or found this particular materials abundant in this galaxy. Go there, which is cool. I mean, especially in this type of game, the explore and loot game. They also, I mean, if you look through the patch notes, I mean, it's a ton of stuff, a lot of quality of life, a lot of gameplay updates. They're going to actually fix the game generation, so there's less duplicates in planets and structures. There's more variety in weather. And some silly stuff like where trees and where certain stuff spawn in weird places, and like some stuff was spawning way far underwater and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then they're also adding a couple of ability to loot derelict or crashed freighters, and some terrain added in also. So so I mean, that's cool. Again, the biggest thing is the 30-hour campaign that they added, and the beginning of multiplayer. And to be fair, and also in the notes or in the lead up to this, the developer did mention that there would be more to come. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, anybody that's still like actively playing No Man's Sky, like, good for you, man. Like, you are a gosh darn trooper. So good on you for that. But I do think that it's high time they actually did something for the people that expected something else, from this game. Start implementing things that will meet the expectations of the people that got the game initially, that aren't down to just like loot and collect and see the end of the world and then start again.
Right.
So this is cool. I mean, it just goes to show you that these guys are dedicated to having a quality product out there, something that, like, when the history books say No Man's Sky, it'll first start off like, yeah, that launched though, but then it's like, yeah, but then it turned out to be a pretty decent game.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's cool for anybody that's still playing it. I am a happy camper because I never picked it up, so
no,
I feel good. I feel good.
I never had not a single inkling of interest in that game, and I still do not. But like you said, if you're still playing that game, good for you. You have persevered, my friends.
Yes. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, we'll see. Let's go ahead and get on to the next story. What we got?
We got news out of the International. We talked about the International. If you don't know what the International is, are you really a gamer? No, I'm kidding.
What? I didn't know what the fucking International was before y'all talked about it. Before last week, I had to learn. I was like, what the hell is the Internet? I don't know.
The International is the Dota championships, the Dota 2 championships, I should say. And, last week talked about it because of the insane prize pool.
That prize pool.
$24 million prize pool.
I was thinking of making a team and just coming in 15th place so we can get rich out here.
Yeah, that's something like $100,000 for
right.
15. But yeah, the Dota championships finished yesterday, actually. And the winner is Team Liquid. They are the Dota championship champions.
And they're millionaires, no?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's $14 million split between, I think it was 5 players, right? 4 or 5 players, I forget. And I'm sure they have alternates and such. But yeah, the money is the money.
The money.
But yeah, the Dota Championship finished yesterday. Team Liquid won. And
what's up?
My screen on the right froze, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Dota Championships finished this weekend, and Team Liquid is the champion now. And yeah, they took home the money, which is good for them. That's great. And on top of that, there was the reason I really want to bring this. Obviously, we want to,
congratulate the winner.
Report the results. But during the grand finals, there was an intermission. And during the intermission, there was a what do you want to call it? A match,
exhibition match.
Yes, that thing. There was an exhibition. There was an exhibition match, and the exhibition match was an AI bot, by open source AI, which is the brainchild of a company owned by Elon Musk of Tesla and SpaceX thing.
Okay.
That AI bot beat a professional in a 1-on-1 Dota 2 match, which is
how do you pronounce his name? Dindi? Dindai?
You tell me.
DNDI?
Sure.
That's how you. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm not gonna try, but yeah, that I think that was it's surprising. I mean, Google has had their GoBot going and beating people in Go, which is like a puzzle game, or like it's like a board game. Think of like chess, Othello, or what's the I forgot. I can't think of all the names of those games, but yeah, it was an AI bot beating people in that board game, which is pretty much finite, and it's just a straight board, where Dota is not. Is definitely changing. The bot had to be able to make changes and adjust on the fly, and it was able to, and it beat a top Dota 2 player. I mean, listen, Skynet, here they come.
Skynet, yep. This is how it starts. It starts, right? It starts off as just all fun and games, and then next thing you know,
quite literally fun and games, right?
Fun and games, yeah. That's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And again, this is just where we're going these days, and cool.
Yeah. Let's get on to the last story, and this one's actually interesting. It's something that was probably seen across a whole lot of different platforms, and it's the possibility that the Olympics could feature esports.
And I find that fascinating. I find it
definitely
fascinating. And you know what this reminds me of? Remember in the 90s, mid to late 90s, all the big rage was about X Games. You remember X Games, BMX, and then snowboard and all that stuff, and they kept pushing it, and now it's a staple in the Olympics. And this seems to me as this history repeating itself, where esports, everybody's pushing esports. ESPN is picking it up, the Turner broadcast system, all the different partnerships, pro leagues, and so on and so forth. And now they're talking about esports in the Olympics. And what's funny about this is there's already in the Asian Games that's going to be in China in 2022. There's going to be esports exhibitions there, and I mean, esports it's
taking over.
The way at which they're growing. I mean, just a couple of years ago, the only really competitive esports you had was Dota, StarCraft,
CSGO.
League of Legends, and CS:GO. Right now, it's just all over the place with pro teams and franchises and all that stuff. And it's not funny money. I mean, if you look at Overwatch, just signed 2 more teams. One of the teams, the LA team, is being purchased by the Cronkies, who own the Los Angeles Rams football team. So I mean, it's not new. It's old money that's coming into this. When I say old money, it's people that's been established and had money for years and years from their families and other business interests. It's just not people that are like young Silicon Valley people like, oh yeah, esports is the next. No, it's real old Robert Kraft, the Cronkies, the Wilpines. These guys have had money for years and have owned teams for decades.
So they're investing in esports, and one of the execs up in the in the Olympics or whatever. Right now, the debate is whether or not esports is considered a physical sport, because you have like the actual like competitive nature. It does, require like quick thinking and reflexes. Right. But I think that the argument and the debate behind it is that can it be considered a physical sport?
Right. Where's the physicality?
Where's the physicality? Yeah.
Right, and when you look at, like I mentioned earlier, the X Games, there's tons of physicality.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
You're controlling your body. In esports, the only physical contact you're making is hand to button.
Yeah, hand and eye coordination. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't want to diminish the quality or diminish the level of focus that these players have.
Not at all.
But that's the argument that's going on at the top, the highest levels over at the Olympic headquarters or whatever the hell. But it's definitely an interesting question, and with all of the money being thrown at esports, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a question that we won't have an answer to for much longer.
Right. I mean, once you get to the Olympics, you're big time and you're permanent. Because now when you look at the quote unquote X Games, they're not just really X Games anymore. They're just sports. I mean, they still do. ESPN still does the X Games every year, and then every time the Olympics come across, you still see those events. You still see the snowboard slalom and the jumps, and you still see the BMX and all of that stuff. So it's definitely, once you get there, you're there, and you're typically there for good.
Yeah. So this was something that came out this week, and I was super intrigued by it. There's a whole lot of people talking about it. I think it actually showed up on like national news. They were talking about it as well.
Yep. On MSNBC, I saw it.
That's where I saw it too. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated. I mean, if it makes it to the Olympics, I mean, they're going to need some Dragon Ball FighterZ representation there. And I plan on being the best in the world. So sign me up for the Olympics.
Bring that gold home, brother.
I'm bringing the gold, man. No, I plan on getting good at that game. Like, I really want to put a lot of time and effort into it. So, but yeah, this is just an interesting topic and something that we may have to elaborate on in a long form later down the road. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our long form, which is still esports related. We're still talking esports. But for this week, what's the topic? What do we want to talk about?
What the long form is there an esport bubble? And
what do you mean by that?
By a bubble, I mean, are we building up esports so high that eventually it's going to burst and bottom out, right? Think of, like, when I say bubble, think of something like the real estate bubble or the tech boom and bust, where it grows really, really high, really fast, and then all of a sudden, everybody loses interest, and like, what the hell? Remember those esports from back in the day? Everybody thought such and such, that type of bubble. So, is there a bubble for esports, or will it be able to maintain a long term? Will it be viable long term?
Man, that is a loaded question and a very good question at that. I think there's multiple levels to that answer. One, there has to be quality games that come from developers, right. So that's the one part. But the second part is, like, this is such a new, like, thing that's happening right now. This platform that the esports scene has just been. It kind of like just exploded out of freaking nowhere. Like, you never really heard of esports out of like a couple of events, and like, these events were held in like, we're in like the most lavish of like locations. Like, you had Evo, like Evo, like in warehouses and stuff, and it just like grew into this massive like business. It's pretty crazy at the rate that it's growing, because I remember, like, man, like, just like last year, like, on this podcast, we were talking about how fast it's growing, and I feel like it's doubled in its growth.
its speed, its growth speed is basically been growing exponentially, right? It's like last year there was a couple of leagues, couple of talks. Next thing you know, we got NBA League, we got Overwatch League, we got Evo with 50,000 people watching it live. I mean, it's just huge out there. $25 million prize pools for Dota 2. I mean, the money is out there and going into esports. But my question is, like you said, the game. So my problem with esports, and I'm going to point directly at Overwatch. The reason I'm pointing at Overwatch because I play a lot and I see what they're doing with their league. I don't see how that can maintain itself as a viable game simply because of some of the issues that are inherent with game in itself. When you talk about hit detection, lags, and that type of stuff. You know, and I'm going to point at Hanzo because I fucking hate Hanzo, but when you have a character that can basically turn an entire match. Now, if you're professional level, he can turn an entire match by shooting somebody in the foot. I mean, you go 0 to 100 by shooting somebody in the foot is nonsense. And people will say, well, you adjust to that, but you never really can adjust to getting hit in the foot and dying. It's stupid and frustrating. And it doesn't make for good theater because if I'm sitting home watching and I'm watching somebody play and I see somebody's pushing, they're about to win, and then Hanzo jumps up, does a scatter arrow, and hits the person in the foot. You see the little X, and then that person dies, and they wind up losing the match. They wind up losing that push. I have a problem with that. I think what I'm going to say, that's bullshit. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm focusing specifically on first-person shooters, shooting games, because another problem I have is hit detection and bullet lag. Even if you're playing in the building and you're on local networks, LAN, connected consoles, there's still going to be bullet lag, and also the hitboxes where you're looking on the screen, you see the figure, but you don't necessarily have to hit the person to register a hit. You can hit next to them sometimes or above them a little bit slightly, and you get credit.
The actual like hurt boxes like extend beyond the actual model.
Exactly. And that when people, like, obviously as a gamer, hardcore gamers, you're going to understand that, and you understand that, you know what's happening, you know why it's happening. But when you start pulling into casual fans more, because when they put in this type of money, they're going to want to expand, and they're going to want casual fans to come in, and are casual fans going to be able to understand that? And even if you explain it to them, are they going to be okay with it?
And that's the exact next point that I was going to make. On the base question, do I think that there's a bubble? Do I think it's going to get too big for its britches and pop? Not yet. Like I don't see that as a possibility as of right now. But what I do see is where games become tailored for esports.
Right.
And it just kind of just like shoves the casual market off to the side. I mean, we've seen something very similar to this with the launch of Street Fighter V, where the only modes that were available at launch were fight against your friends or fight against the computer, or training. Like they didn't really have a whole lot of modes, and it was tailored towards, the esports scene, tailored towards the Capcom Cup. They were trying to get it ready for Evo and all of these like different championships and stuff, and it suffered. It suffered in sales because the casual market just did not want a super competitive fighting game. They didn't want that. And like not everybody wants to pick up a game and just like catch these hands all day. It's not that type of situation when it comes to everybody. I mean, and I do feel that if esports expands or keeps expanding or keeps getting as big as it's getting at this rate, that it's gonna incentivize developers to cater to that market, because that's where the money is. The money isn't in the casual player, the one that'll pick it up and then put it down after like 2 or 3 months. No, the money is in prolonging these esports series and these franchise and these these teams. It's prolonged playing over the course of like seasons of like esports leagues. Right, and that's when they'll start they'll start catering to that type of mindset.
Right. right? That where they're raking in sponsorship money and stuff from like outside sponsors like Coca-Cola or Sprite or that's the same company, right? Coca-Cola or Cadillac. Yeah, Coca-Cola owns Sprite.
Okay, sorry, I don't drink soda, so I don't know.
But yeah, that's definitely that's a concern for sure.
Yeah.
As for gamers, right? Because like a person like you and me personally, I don't think I have any interest in being a esports star. There's no way. Maybe there's a game that comes along that's going to be like, oh, that's the game that I want to be professional at and make money playing.
Yeah, or like I can be good at this game, and then if the opportunity like shows its head, then like I may like take that avenue. But just coming like just like as I'm a regular gamer, you know,
right? If I want to pick up and play a game, yeah, I think you're hitting a good point where we're going to be seeing more and more games that are tailored specifically for esports, and it's not going to resonate to the casual gamer. Now, is that going to hurt gaming? It could. I don't think it will, mainly because there's too many other developers out there that's going to put stuff out want to put narratives out there that don't cater to esports. You'll still have those narratives, but I think as more and more of the PvP type games, when you're looking at like Call of Duties and Overwatches and a lot of the MOBAs, those type of games, those are going to be pushed off to the esports. And unless you want to be real good and put a lot of time in it, it's not going to cater towards the casual. And there's going to be that percentage of the population that's going to push to be pro at those games.
Yeah,
and that I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it being like a problem until, Mario Kart has a freaking esports league, or they're already like trying to do something with Splatoon. So and like ARMS is going to be at Evo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even these even the casual console has like. Or is trying to do like an esports league, and I don't know. I feel like it can get a little ridiculous, given the wrong motivations. If people are motivated by money, they're gonna do what they got to do to get it.
Right.
And if that means making a game that has like a super high level cap, only the top people that can spend the time and get good are gonna have fun. You know. I don't know, the next Smash Brothers. Like, what if that's tailored towards esports? I mean, you already have Melee and Smash 4 as games that are at Evo. Like, what if the next Smash Brothers that comes along is just built at its core to be like an esports title? Like, how many casuals that just like punching the shit out of Mario are just gonna not be down for that,
Right. I don't know. There's gonna be plenty. And what I would say, another thing that's worrying me about esports is how games traditionally were released and how they traditionally were updated. So when we look at, and I'm going to go to the NBA, right? Because they got the NBA 2K Sports League coming up. When we look at NBA 2K, every year there was a new game, right?
Yeah.
So now, how are they going to manage? Is there going to be a specific NBA 2K pro title, esports title that's only doing roster updates and basic balancing changes?
I feel like that should have. I feel like that should have been a thing with like sports titles. Like I do not think that the $60 warrants a roster update.
$60 and some new marketing terms, right?
They need to make a version of like 2K or a version of NBA Live or whatever that probably lasts a couple of seasons, a couple of seasons, because like the yearly release it's a little much. I don't approve.
Because when you look at and I ask that because when you look at these teams now, they have professional teams, right?
Right.
They're not going to want to every year have to learn the intricacies, because when you become a pro, when you're a pro at these games, all
the ins and outs of that.
So you don't want to have to every year learn new intricacies of a game.
But they've been doing it in Madden though, and Madden has been going pretty strong.
That's true, but see, Madden is fool's gold, because if you think every year you're getting a new Madden, you're not. Every year you're getting some fresh paint. Ultimately, the game is the same. There's been like my experience with Madden is every third year is a significant change in the game.
Okay.
But it's
incremental change. Yeah,
it's incremental to the point where you won't notice it if you're buying the game every year. But if you skip a couple of years, when you pick up from 15 to this year, it's going to be a big change.
Okay.
From 15 to 17, not so much. From 15 to 16, pretty much none at all. Mm-hmm. But when you go that much, there's a noticeable change. So I just don't. I don't see how the longevity of these games are going to work and how they're going to work it out for the professional versus the casual. So if you're pushing out, if there's going to be a separate title, my guess and my hope would be that, especially for the sports game, there's going to be a pro version of the game that only gets updates, right? And it's not going to be rebuilt every year. Unless there's like major changes going through the game, and then the teams have like
but then who the hell would buy the regular version? If there's two versions, then who the hell is gonna just pay $60 every year?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like sports games especially just need to come up with a different model, because the once a year roster updates, that's just bad as a consumer. If you're doing that. And like no disrespect or anything, but that's just bad. I couldn't. I don't know. I just don't see the value.
Yeah,
I don't see where it warrants that much money every year.
I've been asking for roster updates for years. I remember for a while I used to send EA messages and comment on their forums saying, "Hey, don't give me a new game, just give me a roster update." I said I would even pay a subscription, $20 a year to get all of these. That's fine.
I feel like that needs to be the next model, the subscription model, because I mean, but they've been doing it for so long, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Because people buy Madden religiously every year.
People buy FIFA every year.
Every year, yep, every year. I used to be one of those people. Now I only buy them when they're on sale. I buy them every year, but I won't buy them for $60 every year. Give me a half price sale. Usually I try to keep it about $40, but I notice. And I talked about this before, January, February time, they usually have this huge, crazy deal discount where you can get Madden and FIFA together for like $40. And that's when I usually buy it. But going back to the topic, I just wonder how they're going to maintain these games for years on end. CSGO has done it brilliantly. Right. Dota 2, League of Legends have done it brilliantly. I don't know if an Overwatch can do it, if a 2K can do it.
Because these games weren't built with esports in mind. Like Dota was built from the ground up, based on the first one.
I think Overwatch was. Because if you go into Overwatch, if you go through the menus, if you look at all of the spectating options in the menus, you can tell it was built.
Well, I'm just saying, like, not all of the games,
right?
All the ones that you mentioned,
yeah. But there's many of other games out there, like you said, Street Fighter, ARMS, there's another Rocket League. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's tons of games, and there's the 3 games that I mentioned, there's probably another 40 games out there that people are pushing for esports, right?
Yeah.
If all these games aren't built specifically or tailored to be an esports game, and I'm not talking about spectating features, and I'm talking about from the ground up, where you talk about balance and the ability for the game to maintain its longevity, it can be a problem.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, that's a very, very awesome question. Probably one of the more like engaging long forms that we've had in a while. I've really enjoyed that. Let us know what you guys think. Is esports growing at a rate that it can't sustain?
Unsustainable rate, yeah.
At an unsustainable rate, are games gonna suffer from the increase in interest in esports? Let us know what you think. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Debate us in the comment section.
Debate me.
But yeah, great question, man. Damn, like that actually like made me think. I was actively going in there, but that was actually pretty cool. But yeah, you can also submit long form discussion topics for us via our social media. So with that, we can move on to the next topic, which is the final thoughts. And this is the part of the podcast where we kind of just like go back, revisit some of the stories that we talked about today and just gave our final 2 cents on it. So Boogie, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm gonna skip the PlayStation update. I don't care. Horizon Zero Dawn. If you've played that game, if you haven't played that game and you have a PlayStation 4, do yourself a favor. Play that game. I'm super excited about the DLC coming out. The AM2R developer getting a job on Ori. It just makes me a little more excited for Ori. And good for him. Like I said, he put a lot of work in the Metroid 2 remake that to only have it shuttered. I'm glad that he was able to find a paying gig, and I'm excited to see what he brings to it. Team Deathmatch, okay. NBA Live 18. If you're a basketball fan, and I know you've been playing 2K, just download the demo, give it a shot. It is a solid. I think it's a solid game. I think it will be a solid game. Like I said, I feel the controls are a little more intuitive, not more intuitive, a little more basic, a little more easier to grasp.
Okay.
Spotify on Xbox One, that's pretty cool. I'm listening to your music. Like I said, Spotify is huge, and the ability to share playlists. I can imagine what that's going to be like when you're sharing with your clans and your friends on Xbox. That'll be fun. The Alpha Ring, the update, I've been using it. I've been using it since I think I got it Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
It's good. I like it. It's snappy. It's more intuitive. The controls are better. Good. Project Cars 2 being better on Xbox One X. It's to be expected. I expect to see more. Considering the power of the Xbox, I don't know if it's going to push PlayStation to do something drastic as far as pushing forward the release of their next console or not. But yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Sonic Mania is sad that the Street Day is broken. I hate to see that. Stay off the internet, or at least stay away from Sonic on the internet if you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
The competitive mode, I remember that from back in the day.
The only thing is, it's only local though. That's the only thing. Man. That should need to be online.
That's the best part about it. Me personally, I think that's the best part about it, because that means you have to call your friend over, you sit next to him, you have drinks together, and you race with Sonic. That's fucking awesome.
That's just gonna be awesome. Yeah, my brother's actually. I'm bringing my brother over right after the podcast. So, when the game comes out, we'll definitely be playing it. So, tune in here. Watch. You can watch that here. It's gonna be dope.
No Man's Sky. Hopefully, it will become the game that the people were promised. Congratulations to Team Liquid, and I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on these esports and the Olympics. I do want to see where that's going.
Yeah, same here. As far as I'm concerned, same with me. I'm definitely looking forward to the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order it, because it's only what you said, $15 if you have PS Plus.
$15. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that right after the show. I'm very happy that the AM2R developer got a job on Ori. Ori is an excellent game. If you haven't played the original Ori and the Blind Forest, you are doing yourself a disservice. I believe they have the definitive version out right now for Xbox. I don't know what the difference is. I played the original on Steam, and I'm not exactly sure what the definitive edition brought to the table. Maybe some new features. I'm not sure. It might be something I want to check out before the new one releases. But I'm definitely happy that guy got a job on a game that I was already down for. So that's cool. Team Deathmatch and Free For All in Overwatch. I still need to pick up that game. I found it and I've only played it twice since I recovered it from its eternal slumber inside of a freaking game case I didn't know I still had. So that was interesting. Yeah, but
you got your free loot boxes. Remember, if you're a Twitch Prime subscriber, you get 5 free loot boxes now. Just put in the code, you get your 5 free loot boxes.
Yes. Go ahead and do that. As far as NBA Live 18, man, I don't know. I've kind of been out of the scene when it comes to, basketball sims. So I don't know if this would be something that I pick up. But I mean, you can't beat a $20 discount. That's for a brand new title. You can't beat that. And like I said, like we said last week, with them including the entirety of the WNBA, it seems like they're taking this very seriously.
Yeah,
they are making the conscious effort to compete in this market, unlike what they're trying to do with Madden, which is unfortunate. But
because there's no competition.
That's what I'm saying. So they don't have any incentive to compete because they own the license.
They don't have to.
Here, it looks like they're trying to make a statement, and this giving you $20 off. That's a huge statement.
Yeah,
it's the same statement that 2K made back when it was, first getting into the basketball and football sim business. So for them to come back like this means a lot. This means a lot. Spotify on Xbox One, I may have to re-up on my Spotify subscription, man.
Tidal not working out for
Tidal was not doing it for me, man. That shit is blowing me. I have to turn on my Xbox anyway because I have to check and see if I have the fall update. I most likely don't, but we'll see. Project Cars on Xbox One X, yeah, like you said, to be expected. The PC version will be the superior or the best version.
The definitive
version, yes. But as far as consoles is concerned, it doesn't make any sense for any version to look better than what is supposed to be the most powerful console, to date.
Right. Unless the developer is sandbagging.
Exactly. They should take advantage of that power. Mania. Competitive mode, gonna be dope. You can watch it here when I play it on this stream. I have to double down on. I have to double down on this. The countdown to Sonic Mania has concluded. I'm giving away 3 copies of the game. Check it out. Details are on my personal Twitter. I'll have links to that all in the description and in the show notes, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I can't wait for that to go down. No Man's Sky. I haven't been. I'm not interested in that game, but it is good that they are adding in these features for people that are actively playing the game. It may be somebody that purchased it but then just put it down because it was garbage will have the incentive to pick it back up. Exactly. So that's the only good thing that I can see about it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a nothing story. I don't care. Yeah, and the AI bot beating a pro gamer, a pro Dota 2 player. That's super interesting. We'll have to suppress that program just so that it doesn't, learn too much, Because right. Skynet, man.
Don't give it the nuclear codes.
Don't give it. Oh, I'm not even. That's all we're gonna say about that. And of course, the question, could the esports make it into Olympics is a very interesting question, and we want to know what you guys think about that. So make sure that you reach out to us. Comment down in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. Does it deserve to be in the Olympics? And give us your feedback on that story or any of the stories that we talked about today. We love interacting with you guys. We would love to argue with you in the comment section. It is one of our favored pastimes.
Oh yeah.
We love arguing over the internet. It's dope.
Don't get it wrong. We are professional trolls.
Yes, professional. yes. And don't let me get Mount Liver up in here. That is the troll. He's off trolling somewhere right now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's going to end the show. We want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're listening to us live using your favorite podcasting app, we definitely want to thank you. You can take us on the go. Boogie, why don't you let them know exactly where they can listen to us?
You can find us on any of your podcasters because we are in the podcast directory, podcast apps because we are in the podcast directory, AWGNS or A Weekly Gaming News Show. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and iTunes, not iTunes, TuneIn Radio.
Yeah, TuneIn Radio.
I'm sorry. And TuneIn Radio. Again, AWGNS or A Weekly Gaming News Show. Go to those platforms, rate us, leave comments, let us know what you think. Again, if you want to argue with us, you can argue with us there. If you got your phone and you don't want to go to YouTube, you can go to Google Play or go to iTunes and say, hey, in the comments, I think you're wrong about esports, and you'll get a reply. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll get a reply. Yeah, we are standing by. Operators are standing by. No, but quick shout out to our sponsors, the guys over at New Challenger Discord. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. We definitely appreciate you. And like we said, you can hit us up on our social media. We are at AW Gaming NS on Twitter. We are a weekly gaming news show, or AWGNS on Facebook. And our YouTube is tinyurl.com/AW Gaming NS. We are still seeking that 100 subscriber count so we can get the custom link. So go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a few different kind of videos on there, not just the stream archive. We have some cool stuff, and going forward, we're gonna put more stuff on that channel that we deem worthy of your guys' viewership. So definitely make sure that you subscribe to that channel. It will be a very fun time. But I believe that that's enough talking, and I don't know what's going on outside. I heard something crash, so let me get up out of here. I don't know what happened. I felt
somebody
something
fell down.
I hope
I can't get up.
It's probably the damn dog. But yeah, we're out of here. We are a weekly gaming news show. My name is Trenell.
I'm Todd,
and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
All right.
All right.
Offline. All right.
I don't know what that was. I think I need to check on it.
yeah.
But everything went pretty smoothly.
Yep.
If you need anything, let me know. I am off tomorrow.
I am actually off tomorrow too.
Oh,
we are going to the county fair. Oh yeah.
Oh sweet. Where it's in Maryland?
Montgomery County. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
It's family day.
Family day. All right, cool.
So I am off tomorrow, so I'm going to shut down. Well, not shut down. I'm going to take the stuff down, and I'm going to put up, do the audio.
Yeah.
Everything looks good. I did lose the Facebook feed. I think Facebook did something crash because nothing on my computer crashed. The feed went down.
The feed went down, but it came back up. But I don't see, and that's the thing. I don't like when it comes back up. It's not on the same file. It's like it creates a new video.
Yeah.
I have to figure out something to do with that.
Yeah, I got that up, and then one of these websites I had crashed that's what I was looking crazy. Mm-hmm. It crashed my browser. It crashed the browser, but it didn't affect anything. None of my recorders, anything stopped. So
okay, good.
That was fine. And when the browser crashed, the stream didn't stop. It stayed up, so I'm good there. So everything should be good. I'm definitely going to get on some games tonight. I'm going to probably mess with Splatoon again.
Okay, because I actually had Splatoon. I'm down for that.
I had a good time with it. I only played one match because that's all I had time for. But I just got to play and figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, because if you get on Splatoon, we can try and you can't stream on Mixer. Well, you could if you.
I don't have a.
We can stream it. Is what I'm saying. We can stream it to the AWGNS channel.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be getting on some gaming tonight for sure. I haven't played, man. I haven't played. I got to play some games.
Got to play some games. Yeah, all right. So I'm down for that too.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And Chato, if you're still out there, you're damn right. Overwatch needs bans.
Overwatch needs bans. Yeah, we saw that. I saw that comment. I was like, Boogie, he's gonna say something about that. Yep. But yeah, thank you all for tuning into the live stream. We definitely appreciate it. You've been watching the post-show. What's up, Morrigan? So Morrigan's down to Splat 2, so that's 3. Sweet. We just need one more. We need one more. We got a squad.
All right, cool.
All right, so that's cool. Let me go ahead and get some food and figure out what that crash was in the background. And I'll be on in a little bit.
All right,
guys. All right. Later. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you all later.